Okay, so today we are going to be starting with trigonometric ratios. All the sum that I did in the part A, there's a part A of this trigonometric ratios. In part A, I had done question number 1, question number 2, and question number 3. And furthermore, there are question number 1 to question number 10 in which I'm going to do in the trigonometric ratios video. In the part A, I had done 3 questions, and in part B I'm going to do the rest of the questions. All the rest of the questions are I'm about to do, that is 4 question, 5th question, 6th question, 7, 8, 9 until 10. So I'm going to do around 6 questions which are left in this part B video. Before we start this video, I would advise you to look at my first video and then come to the second video. And all the questions that I'm about to do, it is referred from Selena Publishers, class 9th. In the last video, I had mentioned that I have referred all these problems from class 10th, but it's actually class 9th. Concise Mathematics, and it is written by S.H. R.K. Bansal. Okay, so let's start with our fourth question. So our fourth question mentions that find sine B. So in the previous video, I've told you that whenever the alphabet comes in front of sine or any other trigonometric value, so sine B, in sine B, the alphabet B basically means that the angle B should be to the ground. And when it is towards the ground, so the next step is with respect to angle B, tell us sine B. Sine B is basically perpendicular upon hypotenuse. You should remember all the formulas that I have in the previous video mentioned. 6 formulas. 3 are simple, 3 are complex. So sine B basically mentions that sine is equal to perpendicular upon base, perpendicular upon hypotenuse. This is the perpendicular, this is the base, and this is the hypotenuse. Now perpendicular is not given to us, so we have to find our perpendicular by the Pythagoras theorem. So our base in triangle ADB, in triangle ADB, our base is equal to 5, no units. Our height is equal to 13, no units, and P has to be given to us. So by the Pythagoras theorem, that 13 whole square minus 5 whole square is equal to P square. The answer that we get is 12. So P is equal to 12, and accordingly we are to find sine B. So sine B is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, which is 12 upon 13. So we'll move on to our next question. So our tan C. So tan C, in tan C, the alphabet C basically mentions that the C, angle C, should be to the ground. It should not be in the air like A here, is it? So A here, the alphabet A is in the air. So if it were to us tan A was in the air. So the figure should be readjusted so that A is towards the ground. But here it is mentioning tan C. Tan C is already adjusted towards the ground, so there is no modifications required towards the figure. So tan C basically says with respect to angle C, tell us tan C. So with respect to angle C, tell us tan C. Tan C basically, I'll use another color. So tan C basically means perpendicular upon base. So here with respect to C, tell us perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular upon base, P is equal to 12. So in triangle, I'll just rub all of this to make more space. So here in triangle ADC, our perpendicular is equal to 12. Our base is equal to 16, no units required, and our hypotenuse, according to the Pythagoras theorem, 12 whole square plus 16 whole square is equal to 20, is equal to 8 square, and solving the Pythagoras theorem we get the answer as 20. Okay, so our hypotenuse is 20. So then our tan C, with respect to angle C, tell us tan C. Tan C is equal to perpendicular upon base, and our perpendicular is 12, base is 16. So tan C will be 12 upon 16, which when simplified further is equal to 6, 8, 3, 4. So our final answer will be 3 upon 4. Okay, so let's move ahead. I'll make some more space. Okay. So once we have made enough space, I want to tell the viewers that whatever questions that I'm doing now, it is referred to from exercise 22A. Okay, 22A of Selena Publishers, class 9th, Concise Mathematics, R.K. Bansal. Okay, so our third part of the fourth question states that find secant square B minus tan square B. Okay, so for this I'm going to go to the whiteboard and we are going to solve our detailed sum over there. So this question is the, pardon, so third part of the fourth question. So we are to draw a figure. Okay. So once we have entered our dimensions, this is a right angle triangle. We are to enter our dimensions given to us by the question. So our hypotenuse, I'll note down the alphabets, the respective alphabets given to us by the question in the triangle. Okay, so once we have entered our labeling, so we'll enter the measurements. So our AB is equal to 13, our base is 5, and our base in triangle ADC is 16, and our hypotenuse in AC, a triangle ADC, is 20. Okay, and our perpendicular is 12. So the third part states that find our secant square B. So if it has told us to find secant square B, first of all we'll mention that's the reciprocal of 1 upon cos theta. 1 upon cos theta is equal to secant theta. This is the formula that you have to learn, and it is one of the 6 formulas that I had mentioned earlier. So 1 upon cos theta is equal to secant theta. So whatever value cos theta obtains, so that will be the reciprocal, and the reciprocal will be equal to secant theta. So here we'll first find our secant square B. So first we'll find our cos B. So our cos B basically states that with respect to angle B, and B should be to the ground. So with respect to angle B, tell us cos B. Cos B basically means base upon hypotenuse. So our value will be 5 upon 13. This will be cos B. But then it states that I had told you earlier that 1 upon cos theta is equal to secant theta. So whatever value cos theta obtains, so the reciprocal of that answer will be secant theta. So the reciprocal of 5 upon 13 will be 13 upon 5, and that will be the value of secant theta. Here we have to find secant B. With respect to angle B, tell us secant B. So it is 13 upon 5, which is secant B. And then it finally tells us that find secant square B. So secant square will be 13 upon 5 whole square. So once we have found out secant B, we will go ahead. Once we have solved our secant square B, we'll find tan square B. So tan square B, first we'll find tan B. So with respect to angle B, B should be to the ground. So with respect to angle B, tell us tan B. That is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, perpendicular upon base, pardon. So it will be 12 upon 5. So no reciprocal required. We have to only find tan B, because if we have to find cot B, so it would have been the reciprocal of tan B, which would be 5 upon 12. But here it is asking us that find tan square B. Here we have found out the tan B. All we have to do is tan square B. We have to find out tan square B. So this will be 12 upon 5 whole square. Okay. So we'll move on to our question. So say secant square B minus tan square B. No need to write the alphabets. We have to find out the value. So we'll solve that. So 13 upon 5 whole square basically means 13 square upon 5 square. So 13 upon 5 square minus 12 square upon 5 square. So this would be equal to 13 into 13 is 169 upon 5 into 5, that is 25, minus 12 into 12, that is 144 upon 5 into 5, that is 25. So 169 minus 144 is 25. So 25 upon 25 is equal to 1. So the third part of the fourth question's answer is equal to 1. Okay, so we move on to a final part. So sine square C plus cos square C. So whatever alphabets are mentioned in this question, they are with respect to angle C. That means that C should be to the ground, with respect to the ground, not in the air like A here. It should be to the ground. And with respect to angle C, tell us cos sine C. So if it has mentioned find sine square C, all you have to do is find the value for sine C first. So sine C, I'm going to solve it here. With respect to angle C, tell us sine C. So perpendicular here is 12. Our hypotenuse is 20. So sine C basically means 12 upon 20. That is 3 upon 5. So this will be our final answer. 3 upon 5. Now it is mentioning that find sine square C. So sine square C will be 3 upon 5 whole square. So this will be sine square C. And then we have to find cos square C. So I'll just make some space over here. Okay, so once I've made enough space, cos square c, in cos square c, first you have to find cos c. So cos c is with respect to angle c, tell us cos c, that is base upon hypotenuse. So 16 upon 20, and all we have to do is simplify the value. So 16 upon 20 will be equal to 4, 8 upon 10, that is 4 upon 5. So it will be equal to 4 upon 5. And cos square c basically means 4 upon 5 whole square. So our final answer, our final statement would be, I'll clear all of this, hope you have noted all this down. So this is the fourth part of the fourth question. So once we have found out the values of sine square c of minus cos square c, so here the question states us find sine square plus cos square c. So our sine square c is 3 upon 5 whole square plus cos square c, that is 4 upon 5 whole square. So 3 upon 5 whole square plus cos square c, that is 4 upon 5 whole square, is equal to 3 square upon 5 square plus 4 square upon 5 square. You learn these laws in exponential powers. So 3 square is equal to 9, 5 square is equal to 25, plus 4 square is equal to 16 upon 5 square, that is 25. So 9 plus 16 is 25 upon 25, that is equal to 1. So this will be a final answer. So we'll move up to our next question without delay. So the fifth question states that given sine A is equal to 3 upon 5, find tan A and cos A. So whatever information is given to us by the question, all we have to do is we have to note those information and clues down. So here it mentions that sine A is equal to 3 upon 5. Okay. Sine A is equal to 3 upon 5, and when you have noted this information down, always remember that you have to draw a figure. So let's draw a figure, right angle figure. So here it will be a 90 degree, and here it says that sine A is equal to 3 upon 5. Sine A is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So 3 is our perpendicular, so this is known as a perpendicular. So 3 is our perpendicular and 5 is equal to hypotenuse. So 5 is our hypotenuse. This is known as a hypotenuse. So whatever side is opposite to the 90 degree, that is known as a hypotenuse. That is 5. So if perpendicular is equal to 3, hypotenuse is equal to 5. So according to the Pythagoras theorem, 5 whole square minus 3 whole square is equal to base. That is 4. So here it mentions that the first question mentions that find tan A. So here it mentions that find tan A. So when we had drawn our right angle figure, hypotenuse was 5, our perpendicular was 3, and our base was 4. So tan A basically means that we'll first label the triangle. So once we have labeled our triangle, so tan A basically means that the angle A should be to the ground, and once it is to the ground, all we have to do is with respect to angle A, find tan A. Tan A is equal to 3 upon 4. Why? Because tan A or tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. So accordingly we have to find our value. This is equal to 3 upon 4. Our first question is done, and our second question mentions that find cos A. Now cos A with respect to angle A, and angle A should be to the ground, find cos A. Cos A basically means base upon hypotenuse. So accordingly we find a value. So base is 4, hypotenuse is 5, so our final value will be 4 upon 5. Easy, isn't it? So it's that simple. We'll move on to our next question, and we'll just rub our previous values. Just note it down as quickly as possible. So once we have made enough space and you have noted all the questions down, all the answers down, we'll move on to our sixth question. That is, so our sixth question states that there's a triangle given, okay, and find sine A. So sine A with respect to angle A, which is to the ground, with respect to angle A, tell us sine A, that is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So first we have to find our hypotenuse. So we'll solve this on the whiteboard. So this is our sixth question, and all we have to do is draw a figure. Okay, so once we have drawn our figure, we are to look at our first question, that is, it is telling us to find sine A. So sine A is equal to, so all we have to do is find our hypotenuse, because hypotenuse is not given to us, only perpendicular and base is given to us. So accordingly, the Pythagoras theorem states that a whole square plus a whole square is equal to 8 square. So this is equal to 2a square, which is equal to 8 square, and the value will be root 2a is equal to h. So we'll write that down. Root 2a is equal to h, that is hypotenuse. So our first question states that find sine A. So our sine A is equal to perpendicular upon base, that is A upon root 2A. So A gets cancelled and the final value is 1 upon root 2. Then we'll move on to our next question, that is find secant A. Now secant A basically means that the reciprocal of cos theta is equal to secant theta. So first we'll find cos theta, that is cos A. So with respect to angle A, find cos A, that is base upon hypotenuse. So that will be A upon root A, that is 1 upon root 2. And then whatever reciprocal is that of cos A, that is secant A. So reciprocal of this value will give us root 2. That will be equal to secant A. Okay. So we'll move on to our next question. That is cos square A plus sine square A. So cos square A plus sine square A basically means, I'll clear all of this. Cos square A plus sine square A. So I'll draw a figure. And we label our triangle. So all we have to do is first find cos A, not cos square A. Cos A is equal to base upon hypotenuse, that is A upon root 2A. That is, this is not P or 9, this is A. So all we have to do is find cos A. So with respect to angle A, find cos A, that is base upon hypotenuse. So our cos A is equal to 1 upon root 2. So cos square A means 1 upon root 2 whole square plus sine square A. First we have to find sine A, which is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is 1 upon root 2 whole square, because we have to find sine square A. So once we have found our adequate number of values, so this will be equal to 1 square upon root 2 square plus 1 square upon root 2 square. Okay. So 1 square is 1. Root 2 into root 2 is equal to 2. Please memorize that. So root 2 into root 2 is equal to 2 plus 1 upon, because 1 square, 1 into 1 is 1 only, and root 2 into root 2 is 2. So this will be equal to 2 upon 2, which will be equal to 1. Okay. So once we have completed our sixth question, the rest of the question we have solved it till here. So the rest of the question we solve it in C. So all the questions that we have done now, the questions after that, that is namely the 7th question, the 8th question, the 9th question and the 10th question. So the rest of the 4 questions we'll do it in part C. Please do watch that. Hope you have enjoyed this video. This brings us to the end of this video. So hope you have enjoyed this video. Bye.